All right, great day, everyone. Oh my goodness, these things are just sometimes. Okay, got it. Sometimes the Norton's, the McAfee, whatever, antivirus things just sort of, throw things for a loop. So let's get into this. Let's turn on some tunes. Let's go over here. Let's get this pinned. All right. I'm doing a nice coconut oil treatment for my hair. Give it some nice deep conditioning. All right, all right. All right, let's go here. So on our announcements for today, we've got FOMC. Do you think it's going to be in line? They're going to cut it? I'm thinking they're going to threaten to cut, but not do it until September when everybody is back in the office. Right? Back in the office as far as everybody went on vacay. So now we're going to see if they actually cut the rates. I don't think they're going to do it until September. So what are your thoughts? And you know what I'm going to do? Let's go on over here, profile, and where is it? I posted my watermelon today. Let's edit this. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. There we go. All right, where is it? Hello. Hello, hello. There we go. Pin that. Boom. Pin, pin. All right, so we got that. You know what? I wonder if I can make an edit to it. Nope. Unpin, and now I can edit. I think I'm going to do that. If it will let me edit. Boom. All right, update that. My phone is blowing up. I don't know why. I have to check that later. Later, alligator. All right, so we can see we did pull back down to that 4 on the Qs. Are we officially going to change the trend here? We shall see. We shall see. This is annoying with this updating here. There we go. All right. So let's get this going up over here. We are the 30th, which is going to be a new move. Let's clear these things up. Let's look at the SPY. The Q is still 555. Ooh, 555.88. A little bit different. Oh my goodness, I've got some kiddos that are, they are who they are. If you guys are on Twitter or any of the channels watching, can you please give me a hey Jane, it's working. Love ya. Have an amazing day in the chat so I know everything is working well. That would be great. Thank you so much. I don't like talking to a screen by myself. I really like interaction too. So here is something interesting. Look at what happened. Boom, boom, boom. So 443, everything else is above us. So were they selling? It looks like really if we come below 445, watch out. Thank you, Julie. Watch out because this is going to be going lower. All right, let's clear this up. Boom, boom, da-da bing, bada boom. Oh, I totally missed AMD there. If you all have anything that you'd like to check out, Julie knows. Put it in the chat. We will definitely check it out. Yesterday, I was super limited on time. Not a problem today. Everything is good today. I am here. Normal stuff going on. Okay, 635, 26, 567, 26, 22, 69, 446, 48. Boom. There we have our limits. Google. All right, you got it. You know what? I had Google on my list somewhere. I don't know what I was doing, but I said Google. Ooh, HSBC earnings as well. That's probably going to be on the downside. So here we go. There is that. Let me tweet that out as well. Post stock market. Stock market index trading halt levels for SPY, QQQ, IWM, DIA, just in case we need them. Boom. There we go. All right. Google's making the cut over here. Let's go here. Cap blocks. You know what? We need some tunes. Where are the tunes? Where are the tunes? All right. Let's bring it back over here. All right, so we had the, also I didn't really talk about it that much yesterday, so let's open this up because I didn't have a chance. So in the next 2 weeks, I think we're really going to see potentially a new high for Disney. Why? Because we see this incline going to the upside. There's 5 people in the cart. Is that going to be 5 days? Is that going to be 5 weeks? You know, it's been a roller coaster ride, but now it's moving to the upside. That's the present moment. This is in the past behind it. Look at this. Do you think somebody screwed up? What page is that? Page 00. VRTL and Sophie, you got it, Lorenzo. Look at that. What page is that? Page 00. Is Disney going down? Is that what that's saying? Page 00? The 100 best annuities. Interesting, right? Quite interesting. All right. So first off on the list, REPL, low float, biggest gainer, sorry, I should say biggest volume gainer today. Not the biggest gainer. Hum, is that Hummer? REPL, and this is 63 million in the float. Daily point of control. We have earnings happening tomorrow. This is positive news for their drug. So did they sell higher? No, look, they bought at 307. This is above $5 now, so the big guys can get into it. When it's above $5, it's no longer a penny stock, and the big guys, meaning the hedge funds, the major brokerage houses, can start trading this. So it had a massive drop. Congrats to those who caught the short on that, and now we have a big move up. What is it going to be? Earnings tomorrow. I would be cautious holding it overnight personally, but this might offer a great day trade, right? Let's look at Hum. Is that Hummer? Humana with earnings. Biggest gainer for the day, but no volume. So likely a big drop because it's less than 100,000. Not really interested. Let's look at FGF. All right, FGF. Look at that crazy ride today. Those people that were in at 4, look at that. They got all the way up to 75. Awesome, good job. This is 1 million, too low float, and not really interested. All right, let's look at Marvell. It makes me think of Carvel ice cream. I had a Carvel birthday cake for my little one. So big money is down here. We have some bigger volume today. So this one is going to make the cut. 857 million. Big money is down at 72.52. All right. Garmin, maybe? Yeah, Garmin. I use a Garmin watch. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, earnings, pre-market today. I don't really see, well, you know what? It doesn't have a lot of volume. Negative on that. Let's go to Etsy. Etsy. How you doing, Etsy? Etsy earnings. This has enough volume. Marvell, not earnings. Okay, 62.90. let's also check out our favorites. Let's check out Nvda. Advancing today. So put that over here. Looks pretty nice, testing that pivot zone, 23.4 billion. And big money still down at 143.97. Pre-market trade today that I think is going to be pretty hot is going to be Apple. I feel like Apple is going to be moving. Their big money levels right there. Let's look at Tesla's. Tesla up or down today. Tesla's looking a bit better. We're above everything. So we'll put Tesla over here. I will do a pre-earnings trade of Apple. All right, big money levels at 320.89. So they sold up here and now they've bought back at that, oh my goodness, around the 4 EMA. No way. Do you see that? It came back to the 4 EMA. We went up, came back down, and now potential for this to test up here again. We would need to break really 330 with a close above 330. You can see it tested this downward trend but never broke above it. So I think we can safely get rid of this one. No, you know what? They tested it. They tested this on the downward trend and bounced off of it. So let's let it get out of this channel and then we will get rid of that line. Stephanie, both. Day trade on the option version, stock swings, and also day trades. Oh, you know what I didn't put on here too? We got to put this on. Starbucks earnings. I don't personally drink Starbucks. And I feel like they have, if you're a member, they have a free drink day coming up. So we're going to put Starbucks over here on the side too. That's the add-on, 97.15 right there. All right, let's go to our declining stocks. We definitely have Sophie on there. Declining for Lorenzo. Guess what? Your pick made the cut. Did you short this, Lorenzo? All right. Daily point of control since earnings, 22.39. And Stephanie, that's why I look at stocks only over 8 million in the float, because they have to have 8 million to be optionable. Make sense? So if it's less than that, only if it is a pharmaceutical, it was above 8 million, they issued the options. Then they did a reverse split. They shrunk it down. Would you find a stock optionable with less than 8 million? All right. EDU as well today. Hoo-wee. Ooh. Yuck. Yuck-y, huh? Yuckity yuck. That's down in the muck. Oh, you know, I never turned on the music. Silly me. Knew something was missing. I like the vibes. Thank you. Yes, and I'm going to use my profits to buy Leaps. The stock. $41.99. STX. Ooh, Stellantis. I got burned by STX before, early in my trading. All right, there we go. Where are they? 142.39. STX. 211. 142.39. And it was an earnings. I had to grieve that. Oh, I had to grieve that. That was not a fun time. Ooh, Visa. Visa's not getting paid, I guess. Too much debt, not any payments. Sounds like an issue, eh? I don't know. I could be wrong. I have no idea what the earnings report says. I'm just reading the chart. and imagining what the big guys might say. Oh yeah, well, blah, 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 blah. Well, this is what's going on with the credit, and this is what's going on with this, and this is what's I don't care. Let's just look at the stock chart. Right now, does this look super positive? Let's put it on a 3-day. Does that look super positive? It looks like it's slowing down, a head and shoulders actually, and it looks weaker. This looks like a shoulder, this looks like a head, this is our neckline. So if we go below 329, watch out, that's up to a height of 379. So 329 minus, well, actually we'll bring it up here to 369, 40 points. I'd say it might go down to 289. Oh, look, that's the 200 exponential. So I would use 200 exponential 161 as targets. Why? It's the geometry of trading. I feel like that should be a book. Geometry of trading. Geometry and probability and statistics. That sounds like an interesting book, doesn't it? For me, I think so. That's, oops, that's not what I wanted over there. That's my 5-minute. Let's make this 24. Let's see what pre-market trading is so far. Just at 100,000, price is descending and, sorry, volume is descending and price is descending. This is looking like it's not the bestest to the downside. I'm just going to see if there's any others that look super spectaculous. Novo Nordisk, Joby Aviation pulling back. Let's check out Joby. Joby had a good contract, came back. They have not popped it yet. Okay, volume is descending from the high here. That is typically normal in a pattern until we see the breakout move. I'm going to guesstimate that they want to bring it down to 16 before they bounce it. It does look like a top zone, roughly 18, that they're not able to get it above with a close. So I'd say for Joby, swing trade, in my opinion, below 16 or above 18. Right now, it's sort of in a downward trend. We're below all of this bigger zone. If we go from right here, where is their money? They sold at 17.45. So I'd watch for a target of 16 right there. I actually like that setup because we have this nice big gap. So I'm going to put Joby on. Not earnings yet for Joby, but they might be positioning it. And they'll probably pop it, in my opinion. No guarantees there because of the government contract. And it's at 866. And I did not get the Visa one. You know it, Shovel. You know it. All right. Pull these down here. So we can also look at this and say, hey, we've sort of been range bound. We got a bit of an M. They brought it down to the 161. That was support before. You can see that zone was resistance, right? They brought it up to about 336, 337 area as a resistance. And then it flipped to be support. So 337 would be my downward target if it were to continue down. And right now we have the big money above us. So we're going to look at it just from right here. So actually right now it's actually looking like a long, in my opinion, because they bought it 340.60, but they might drop it down to 337, reload and take it higher. Usually you'll see that that third day after earnings is going to be that low bottom out. All right. Let me tweet out what we're covering. I will add SOUN over here. My phone is just going crazy. Hold on one second. Let me see what the heck is going on over here. All right, all right. All right. Okay, okay, okay. I've been getting bookings like crazy for Orlando. Awesome stuff. Love that. Love waking up and going, ooh, condo just got booked. Someone's going to have a great time on their vacation. All right. So let's talk a little bit about why I'm sharing, why I'm doing what I'm doing. Well, I have been in the stock market world since 2000. I had my Series 7, meaning I was a licensed broker, but I did not work as a broker. I worked as a registered assistant, helping other brokers, and then it was .com bubble imploded. They were reducing staff, partner with a broker of 25 years, or go to culinary school in Europe. Yeah, I went to culinary school in Europe. And I was the number one in my class for, in the culinary side, not in the pastry side. And then I came back, had a wholesale pastry business in Philadelphia, got into real estate, worked in aviation again. And then I moved up to Canada, got married, had my first child, and boom, reduction in workforce. No way, second layoff. Layoffs are such blessings in your life. I swear, they get you to do things that you are passionate about. When you stop and you self-reflect and you're like, no, I'm not going to just do a paycheck. I need to improve my life and I'm going to do something for the better. So that's what I did. I turned to saying, hey, what am I going to do to pay for the growing family? Well, I'm going to turn to day trading now. I've been a swing trader and I decided, hey, I'm going to look at day trading now. So back in 2015, 10 years ago, came to the day trading world and did charter market technician studies. My dad passed away, and I was one question short of passing the second level. So I got to do that, got to get back on that. Now my mom is declining. So, you know, life happens. Trading has been here as a amazing mental stimulation way to support my family and also flexibility. So I'm here helping everybody while I'm still enjoying my life, doing my thing, and helping people learn as well. So if you guys like what I talk about today, go to carpeprofit.com. Boom. It's also right here. carpeprofit.com. All of the ways that I do help. The book is the easiest thing, $11, how to set everything up on your chart so you can trade just like I teach you every single morning. If you guys want further coaching, anything like that, it is available right here, one-on-one coaching. You can always reach out to me on Twitter as well, or at carpeprofit@gmail.com. And then I also do the course. I've got to shoot a course. That's an agenda for September. So that 22-hour one-time purchase course is going to happen. I just have to make that happen. It's hard to do it with kiddos. I was really babysitting my 80-year-old mother. So all that good stuff. If you all like the live stream, follow, like, share, and join in the conversation in the chat, because the more that we interact, the more it helps everybody, truthfully. All right, so let's get into it. What is this? This is a miniature whale. Just kidding, it's a seal. Its name is Icy, but I call it, you know, if you guys wanted one. Roger, you wanted one. So anyways, this is the big guy of the market. Big guys run the market. They make waves, right? Like whales in the ocean. They go, they make a splash when they land. While they splash in the market, sometimes they make a big position. If they want to buy, sometimes it goes down and then it goes up. Their level of entry is right here. If it goes down, that can happen, and then it can go up. Vice versa. If they are selling, these guys like to be greedy. They might sell, boom. They might sell right here. They might take it up, and then they go down. And they sell, and they make it a huge profit. So it's the one time it's cool to be a follower. You follow the whales of the market. So how do we find that level? In that book right here, How to Trade Like a Billionaire, I show you how to put it on your chart, everything visually, explaining it. You guys see it every morning. You have questions, you ask. So big money level right here for the daily is for swing trading, in my opinion. It's going to be at 118.54. They just moved it up a little bit. 118.054 and 56 cents. Now for intraday, I'm going to look at today's trading day for Forex, crypto, commodities, and futures. That starts yesterday. right? I've got this up because semiconductors are going to be very heavily affected by interest rates today. FOMC is happening at 2 p.m. So be aware that we do have that going on. Volatility, it might be boring until about 2 o'clock, but it might not be because we've got GDP happening at 8:30. So intraday, right? We're going to look at today's trading day. The big money volume for today's trading day is at 118.097 and 87 cents. So we might find a lot more positioning. Like I said, 8:30 could allow for some volatility until maybe we'll say 9:30, 9:45. They might take it sideways till 2 o'clock, or it could be a dramatic day all the way around. We do have one energy, a new potential move. So we have seen that it's pulled back a little bit in the market. We might see that we see a bigger move, a change of direction. All right. So Ethereum, big money level, 337.45. And on the intraday looks like 38.19. Let's see if it changes. 38.19.09. Boom. Let's go to XRP. All right, XRP, they sold $3.44.81. Jane, how can you tell if they sold? Well, it's up here. And look at the price action after. It's dropping, just like that visual, right? Hope that made sense for you. Intraday is 314.04. Yeah, everybody thinks, oh yeah, XRP. This is the Q way. The Q way is that XRP is going to solve the problem of the world. No, they tried it in 22. It failed. They don't have the ability to do that. Doge, 0.24. This is a bigger move, 0.24105. Oh, not right there. Undo whatever I just did. Right here, 0.24105. This music is good. It's getting spicy in the market. The music's getting spicy. All right, so we've got Doge there. Looks like they sold on Doge as well. Let's check out Solana. Solana, we are big money, big picture. 24 hours, still below at 162.63, which happens to be the 200 and 161 exponential. Starting off somewhat slow, and then it accelerates. Just like my regular training, we start off slow, it accelerates from there, and then once you start to have it click, it gets better. All right, so big money level for the today, intraday, 181.29. Did these levels change? Yes, they do. As the day progresses, this level will change. They sold for now. Why? Because the price action is below. Will they buy? Potentially. And then you would see that red line pop down here, and then it would move up. All right, let's create the day trades. Day trade setups. Over here, we want to look outside of the 70% volume. That is this dark green lines over here. So if we're going to move it to the upside, I'd say 118,400 right there. Boom, you can see the selling wicks below. Also, these are camarilla and pivots. They act as resistance. Stop signs, speed bumps for the big guys. 117,500 as a potential short. All right, let's go to Ethereum. I like this. It's sort of like lounge club music. Maybe I like it too because I had my coffee this morning. All right, up above 38.30. If you wanted to wait, you could go up to 38.4250. Bigger trade there. So let's do that. Let's do 38.4250. Boom. Nice big trade of roughly $38. All right, let's see. Going below, big money is down here, 37.44. Let's go 37.40. Let's make sure it's clear of that entry. All right, XRP. XRP, big money sold over here. Right now on the intraday, it also looks like they've sold this morning up at 314.04. Big money, 70% stopped up here, 314.56. If we go just above this, 3.1525 for a long, and then for a short, let's bring it down to 304.88. 304.88 there. All right, let's go to Doge. I can see why Michael Burry likes the rock music, you know, in the movie The Big Short. But everything could turn around today. We shall see what they're doing. All right. Doge, they sold. Big picture, levels up here. They sold. Intraday, they sold at 0.22181. We'd have to go above that. Let's go 0.223 right here. All right, or below 0.215. 0.215 and 0.223. My girls are so cute. Mommy, are you doing your live? I want to join you on the live. They're so cute. My littlest is like, hey guys. She does fake live streams on her tablet. They're like, hey guys, we're in the car, we're driving. Do you see that nice lake over there? They're little natural ones in front of a camera. I have to say, you go back to my first YouTube videos, it's really hilarious. I was so nervous. I would be talking. Okay, Solana levels 176.50 or above 182.50. Big money has bought on the big term, sold on the short term. I was so nervous, I wouldn't even breathe. I would just talk without breathing. It was really funny. It gives me a good laugh now. All right, any questions about the cryptos? Put it in now. We're going to move forward. If you guys like the live stream, check out carpeprofit.com. I will go over the review of that. Let me just post this up on Twitter. All right, let's get this here. Hey, how come my pinned is not there? Ça c'est fou, là. All right, now it's pinned. Better. I got to get my TikTok stream working again, the kick stream. All right, so if you guys like the live stream, back it up. carpeprofit.com takes you to carpeprofit.system.io. If you want to buy the ebook right here at the bottom, click buy. It's $11 to tell you how to do all this stuff that I do every morning. You can study it at 3, 4 in the morning, midnight, whatever. Whenever you want, it's there for you to study. All right, REPL. Oops. What is my goal? My goal is to help people, you know, learn how to trade and have the freedom of life. But it does take time. It does take energy. And you got to be serious about it. It is not playing. What stock are you playing today? Why are you playing? That means that you're not serious with your money, right? You got to trade it. All right, let's go here. So we see that REPL, hey, REPL is not super crazy low float, but it does have 63 million in the float. They did get positive FDA results. That's where the crazy move came from. Let's also go to our short volumes. Gene, was a short volume. If you don't already know, shorting a stock is borrowing that stock from the broker. You sell it, you get to keep the money, and as long as it moves down, you are going to make a profit. If it moves to the upside, like REPL today, then you have to pay it back, buy back those shares to replace them. Oh no, I'm short, I don't owe them. So your broker is your creditor for those shares, and you have to give those shares back. That means if you have to buy them back and the price moves up, you're losing money. So short volume says, hey, this many people opened their positions yesterday as a short. If that number is over 50%, like it is for Etsy and Nvda today, that means that as the price goes up, you've got those shorts that need to buy back those shares to pay the broker back because, you know, they just lost they've lost 76% of that money that they bought. If they shorted at close yesterday, they lost 76%, right? Because now it's moving to the upside and they got to buy them back at a higher price. Yuck, not so nice, right? Same thing for Etsy and Nvda today. That means that you've got people that are seeing it's moving up. So you have the long biased buyers thinking it's going to go up and the shorts that are trying to cover that position that's so painful. I like calling it a wedgie, right? Wedgie shorts. So that can be a short squeeze. That's what happened to GameStop. That's what happened to Elfin with Martin Scarelli. Nice little guy, right? So here we go. What are the levels for potential day trade? Highest probability levels, reminiscence of a stock operator. Let me know if you'd like that link. Just put it on Twitter, make it a comment, and I will give you the free link. It is a free PDF link. Hope that all makes sense. All right. Marvell. Marvell had a nice breakout. Typically, you're going to find, okay, 80.66, the low down here, 71. I would look for this to go up to about 86.50 up there as a high. Looks like they somewhat topped it off. That's the geometry. I think I really need to do geometry, statistics, and probability of the stock market. What do you guys think? Is that a book you'd like to read? I think that's a pretty cool book. No worries. I will add it to the list, Stephanie. And please, never apologize. All questions are good questions. Listen, I'm in Canada, and I know people always say sorry for everything. You never have to be sorry. If you have a question, it's a good question. Never a reason to apologize. Okay, 82 and 84 for Marvell here for the potential day trade. All right, let's continue. Etsy earnings. How many people do you know that are selling on Etsy? I actually have a detox bath I'm thinking might be pretty awesome to sell on Etsy. It's really relaxing, makes you feel amazing. All right, I'm going to say 64.50 here. And below, come on here, little black line. There we go. Okay, so we see the big money's right here at 63. So we need to pretty much put it, I'm going to put it right here, 62.50 and 64.50. Are you guys buying it? Why do I have negative 82 there? If you see me make a mistake like that, please let me know in the chat. You betcha, E. I tell you how to do it specifically, how to get to the menu. I wrote this book for someone, a good friend of mine. She knows nothing about trading, right? And she's like, I get it. I understand it. I know what you mean. Like, that is clear. Okay, this verbiage not clear. So I wrote it for someone that has never, ever studied it, and it's made it super easy. Okay, what's Roger saying? Good book. Thanks, Roger. How's the weather? Where's everybody tuning in from? Roger's in Arizona. Julie is in Quebec as well. All right. Look at that expansion up here, and then it came back to the 4, Julie. You see it? You see it, Julie? Up and back again. Nice discussion that we've talked about, right? Hit the 15, rebounded, up, expansion, contraction. And no, I'm not talking about giving birth. Well, maybe to a good trade. 176.80. I don't know why I'm really liking this heavier music today. I usually keep it pretty light. This has got a 54%. Etsy looks pretty good. Short squeeze potential on those two. Let's look at Tesla. Tesla, Tesla, we're coming back to that entry level over here. I don't usually like heavy music, so if I'm offending anyone with the music choice today, sorry, it's not always like this. just enjoying the heavy today. I don't know, maybe it's because my mom's temperament was very heavy, and so it's like 320.40 and 322.80. All right, there we go. There's Tesla. Potential long for the day trade above 322.80 up to 323.40. Potential short below 320.40. I wouldn't put it right here. Well, you could do 88 and then you're going to get, what, 31 cents there? Probably a better short below 320.40. All right, let's get into Sophie. I'm going to do Sophie, Apple, Starbucks, all the good stuff. All the good stuff. I find that when I drink Starbucks, it gives me the jitters. So I don't really like Starbucks. I don't really ever go to Starbucks, except for maybe if I'm sick and I want a tea and I'm out somewhere and I'm like, ooh, Starbucks. But then I'll also go to Tim Hortons, right? Tim Hortons. Let's see, what is that price level there? 21.01? No, it's 21 even. All right, so Sophie, I put it above 21 or below 20.50. All right. There you go. That's an earnings. Let's also check out Apple. Apple is pre-earnings trade today. Of course. Always my pleasure. Roger, nice. 115 degrees. So I did mention Apple on Business First AM. If you guys, hold on, let me get this down here. I hope this is not going to, let's go here. Mute tab, because I don't want it to go start talking on me. I'm just going to show you guys every week for Angela Miles. I do a spot for her. Let me get to the playlists. And let's see, created videos. Maybe I just want to go videos. Yeah, so let's go here. Boom. All right, so you guys can see Business First AM. Let's see, where's the most recent one? There we go. Bull on the market, right? So we've got that. So I do a weekly spot for Angela Miles. There I am, gold and silver, right? So if you guys want to check out, learn more, you can see I was also on Ticker Talker every week, all that good stuff. Okay, in any event, Apple was on my list for this past week. Oh, you're from Peru. Very cool. Do you still live there, Stephanie? That's sort of on the bucket list of places to go. Okay, so here's the thing with Apple. If we look at it, today they've sold at 212. Long term, down here at the 61% off of a very large Fibonacci measurement. But for today, we can't really go long. I personally cannot say go long until you get up above here. And many times I do see this. It goes from, say, 61 to 50 and then back and then up to the 23 and then back. So the 23 is up here, 237.44. In my opinion, potential lotto trade, 232, right? 233. Depending on what the cost is, that would be a potential lotto trade, in my opinion, on going into earnings. But you got to do what you're comfortable with, right? So I would say really, you can't really go long, in my opinion, until above 212.50. Let's get rid. We got to get above all the selling, unless this flips throughout the day. If it were to come down, then I would say 211, and you could capture that nice 60 cent move above 211. All right, that's going to be Apple. Let's go to Starbucks. Yeah, Apple is a big sell-off at the moment, but that could also be entry pre-earnings, right? I think I might be live today during the GDP numbers. What do you think? GDP positive or negative? I'm going to say, they're going to say it's in positive. Why? Because I think actually what's going to happen is if they if they want to take it down today with FOMC that it's going to be a positive so they can enter, or vice versa. They're going to say GDP is, or there's going to be a negative reaction. Whatever the numbers are, I think there'll be a negative reaction if they want to take it high at the end of the day. Just my own personal opinion. Remember, all of this is my personal opinion. You need to trade with proper risk management and keep all of that in perspective. All right, so for Starbucks today, bigger move, moving to the outside. I like 97 as a potential short off of earnings, or 98.60. All right, let's go to RCL for Stephanie here. RCL, guess what, Stephanie? They sold, did I not put this on the list? I feel like it was earnings and I put it on there. Overnight earnings. Oh, that was yesterday. Got it. Got it. Okay. So I'm going to do something that I like. Let's go to a 3-hour chart, right? So we had earnings yesterday. So just for fun, we can narrow this down, looking at it for today as well. So we have 330 right there, and I would say probably over here. You see that support zone? So 333.29. It's fun to back it out. Look at oopsies. Look at multiple different time frames. Let's go back to even 45 minutes. All right, see 45 minutes. They popped it up and then brought it back down. Let's go to a 5-minute. What do we see just for today? There's not that much volume for today. So let's go to where they brought the point of control up here. Where is their big money level? Their big money level is 334.37. So we could tighten this up to 334 here. I still like that 335.50, but it's only going to really give you 80 cents right here. If we put it at 336.50, you're going to get 70 cents. We could leave it there at 50. All right, so that's what I would do. I'd do 334 and 335.50. Just know that you might get stuck at 336.30. If it moves to the upside, 338 at the 161. It is in the downward mode at the moment. And as long as it stays above 334.34, that could move to the upside. Very nice, Stephanie. Cool. I'd say check out that book. That's probably an easy way to really learn. Okay, so we've done RCL now. Let's get into the other shorts. EDU earnings today. EDU earnings. Well, where are the big guys? All right, I'm going to give you guys a quiz. Where are the big guys? I'll give you a hint. Pink dashed line. Where are the big guys for earnings? Can you figure it out? 3, 2, 1, go. Pink and yellow. Pink and yellow. Pink and yellow. Boom, right here. 41.99. Still, also the answer was right here, if you guys understand how to read my chart. So big money, same level, 42.01. So let's bring it. We've got the 70% mark right here, 42.20 or 41.50 over here. There you go. 41.50 and 42.20. So Sophie looks a bit more like a short because the big money, I feel like they changed the big money level. Hold on. No, 22.39, still there. Okay. STX, Seagate Technology. Let's put this at 142.12. 142 there. And this one, we're going to put it 145.50. No, 144. All right. So we're coming testing the 33 exponential. We have 142 and 144 right there as the levels that I would use for earnings. But we have all of this big money volume. The earnings prior, was right here, 131.10. So they might use 131.10 as support. If it goes lower, I was talking about it before, I think it might go to 136. But for now, I would use 142 and 144. Oops. 142 and 144. All right, let's go to Visa. Don't forget about I didn't forget about the other ones. They're still on my list. Google, VRTL, and SOUN. They are still there. Just want to get through the list. Splitting it up a bit. All right, we've got this Camarilla from yesterday. They used that level to sell off of, but we see the big money point of control. Oh yes, it does show you that yellow line is where they were in the past. So 342.50 and 345. But wait, big money from earnings overnight bought at 340.60. So you can see Sophie had earnings overnight. They sold. But for Visa, it looks like they bought because the price action is higher today. All right, Joby Aviation. Joby Aviation has earnings coming up next week on the 6th of August. That was my dad's birthday. Let's see, he would have been 85 this year. No, 84. Correction, he would have been 84. All right, so for Joby Aviation, 1650, that only gives you 12 cents to the downside. So you could be aggressive and do 50, but you could also go 38. That's going to give you roughly 42 cents there, or 1681. All right, there we go. That is the list. Let's check out Google. Julie, is this a swing or a day? If you guys put a stock in, just let me know if you're doing swing trading or day trading as well. Whether it's a stock or crypto, either one. All right, so big money, I would go 195.40. They have their 70% there, or 195 for the day trade for Google. Okay, VRTL for Lorenzo. So VRTL, let's check out our WikiWik here. 23.48, and not a lot of volume. So this is Granite Shares 2 times long VRT ETF for fun. Let's see how many shares are in this. VRTL, Wall Street Journal, stock float. $340,000 shares. Very low float, could move very quickly. Double times accelerated. If everybody started buying it, could be a crazy move. All right, so what are we going to do for today? I'd say probably up above 53. AMD scalp, just kidding. We can look at AMD, Roger. Depends on which way you're scalping it, right? And 48.50. All right, 48.50 and 53 is what I see I would use Lorenzo. Okay. Let's go to SOUN. That way, let's see. I will have gotten everything on the list. And we'll add AMD there for Roger, and then we'll do the indexes. And we'll probably see a wild and crazy ride with the GDP numbers. Who's ready? Who is ready for wild and crazy GDP numbers? All right, SOUN, there's not a lot of big crazy movement yet for today. Momentum is to the downside. We see former resistance right there at 10.99 for the big money point of control. Big money is down at 9.98 right now. I would say it looks like 10.68 right here and 10.75. There's big, smaller pockets, right? So your average trade is going to be, that's 9 cents. Then you have 6 cents. It's just not that big of a day trade. But for swing trading, I would say above 11. Or if I don't really like to go against the big money there, you could look for another entry to go long, maybe at 10.20. Let's go to AMD. AMD is pulling back at the moment, Roger. We have a bit of a gap from yesterday that was set up. Big money. Where is our big money? Big money today is down below, down here at 175.89, but they had it right here. So you probably want to see it go up above there. I'd say 177 or below 175. That's what I'd look at. All right, let's wait just a second. Let's bring it just to today. And let's give it a second because we have the GDP numbers pending. So we'll look at that and then we'll do the indexes. Any other questions while we wait the 30 seconds or so? Oop, 3%. There we go. They popped it. So I'm going to say it's a caution, right? 3 and 2. So it's advanced GDP quarter over quarter is down and GDP is up. So I'm going to say they're going to move it higher to potentially sell into it at 2 p.m. because there's going to be no interest rate movement. Just my personal opinion. Do with it what you will. But they always try to set themselves up. Okay, so let's go to the Dow here. Look for an intraday trade levels at the moment. I like to wait. Usually during the school year, I start at 8:15 and get the cryptos done and then start the stocks after the crazy volatile announcements are done by 8:30. So during the summer, my kiddos have camp. We got other things going on. You know, life as a mom. So let's put this at 447.07 and 446.19. All right, we are above the past 3 quarters. Right now it is buying. Gotta be a bull. Gotta be a bull. Until otherwise, we gotta be a bull. All right, the Russell, we are still above. They tested the level yesterday. Looks like it's a rounded top, but we're not there just yet. Okay, so let's bring it on down. Let's do 2380. 2320 and 2380 outside of the 70% and nice potential moves from there. Nice bigger windows. Big windows, clear skies, beautiful views of potential profits above all of the levels except for, yes, above all the levels. All right, all right. The Qs, ooh, we're just barely breaking that trend. Hey, Jaspreet. You know what? The beautiful thing is the market is always here. But look, Jaspreet, 54% on the short volume today. I wouldn't be surprised if that song existed, Roger. All right, 568.80 or 5. Let's go see if we go 567.50 because that round number is going to stick a lot in people's brains. 568.80 and 567.50. Oops, what did I do? Undo that. Not 568% there. But we do have a potential short squeeze today, Jaspreet. All right. So here we go with the SPY. They've been popping their levels all around. You can see these yellow lines moving. That's that big money level. For anybody that is brand new to the live stream, I do have an ebook, Trade Like a Billionaire ebook for 11 bucks. You can get it at carpeprofit.com. It'll bring you to this website, learn with Airplane Jane, all right there. Alrighty, let's look at the SPY for today. So big money levels are between 635.81 and 636.29 for the 70%. Put up here 636.50. We also want to do this, or in my opinion, I would do this, right? You need to get a little bit of a trend line going there. Where would that breakout happen? That's 637.40. So if you got in at 636.50, you might see a 90-cent move and then get boom, stopped, right? Because of that trend line. Let's put this here, 635.50. All right. We do have positive for the GDP numbers. Where'd it go? Right here. 3% and 2%. Next up is going to be the FOMC at 2 p.m. So let's see. It could be very boring pre-market. They might just take it sideways and keep it a doji candle until they get a bigger move. For now, we got to be above all the big levels. Any other questions before I wrap it up for today? Try to give you guys some extra time today because I was so brief yesterday. Watching how the FOMC rates affect the tech stocks. SMH. Let's bring it back to SMH. Let's go to SMH. SMG. Just kidding. That's not it. All right. So I did not put a July SMH on. Let's go July 1st here. All right. So 285.54. That's where they are now. Big money has been below. So if we go below 285.54, I really think that we will see a correction in the market because all the semiconductor stocks really affect the Qs, the SPY, overall technology, and where the market is going. Tariffs have, to me, been a ploy just like Trump's first year of his first term. He had 31% gains in the stock market. Very similar price action for his first year. So be aware of that. I got my bull hat on until I know otherwise. And you can see that right here. I will give you guys the link, actually. Hold on. For Business First AM, let's go here, share, and there you go. You guys can see that. Oops. Oh, copy. There you go. Helps when you hit copy, right? All right. Hope you all have an amazing trading day. Carpe Profit sees those profits one trade at a time. Check out my website, carpeprofit.com. If you have a question and you want to talk about one-on-one coaching, carpeprofit@gmail.com.